In this video, we're going to take a look at an abandoned house that was overrun by squirrels, and then we're going to do something really crazy. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this house. This is a series where we explore abandoned homes all across the United States. I make no secret about the fact that I love exploring these abandoned houses. That being said, there are some that are a bit more special than others. And this one happens to be a little bit more special for a few different reasons. This home is located right outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and it was built in 1910. It was built by the Hazelhurst family, who had a steel company nearby. The steel company actually provided the materials for them to build this house. They lived here until 1960 when they passed away, at which point their son took over the home. The son also had a steel company nearby, and he would use scrap metal from his company to continue to repair the house up until the year 2000, when he himself passed away at the age of 84. He had no children, so the house was left to his niece. She visited every so often, but she didn't want to live there full time, so she rented it out to several different people. Unfortunately, those renters weren't very good, and they caused a lot of damage to the house. Some of them even tried to tear it down and strip it for its materials, but they never finished the job. Finally, in 2019, the niece put the house up for sale. But before she could sell it, it was hit by a tornado, and that kind of put an end to any plans of selling it. Here we are today. The house has been abandoned for over 4 years, and it's just sitting here rotting away. Now, I've been to this house once before, back in February of 2021, and if you watched that video, you know that we found a dead body. To be honest, I don't think that guy was actually living in the walls, so I never made a point of coming back. But recently I got a message from somebody who was telling me that the story that I told isn't quite accurate. He insisted that somebody was living in the walls, and that's why he wanted me to come back and investigate further. We'll start our investigation outside the house and then go inside and check things out. If we can find anything conclusive, we'll do a little bit of digging around back and see if we can find any evidence that someone is currently living in the walls. Here we are at the front of the property. As you can see, it looks pretty much exactly the same as it did when I was here last. A lot of the windows have been boarded up since my last visit. There's some new ones that have appeared and some that have been removed. In this drone shot, you can see the extent of the damage that was done from the tornado. These were all brand new windows that were installed after the tornado, and whoever installed them did not do such a great job, because a lot of them are already starting to fail. And in this one, you can see that the siding has started to come loose. As we move to the side of the house, you can see that there's a lot of trees that have grown up around the house. It looks like this used to be a beautiful home that was well taken care of. Now it's just overgrown and fallen apart. Let's head to the back of the house now and check things out. Out here, you can see that there's still a lot of stuff that's left behind from the people who are living here. They didn't take much with them when they left. I don't know if they were squatters or what the story is, but either way, there's a lot of stuff out here in the yard. And here we are, inside the home. Right away, you can see that there's a lot of fresh squirrel droppings on the floor. That's probably where the smell was coming from. I should mention that I sprayed for spiders and other insects before entering this house. So it's probably safe to assume that the spiders aren't going to be too happy with me right now. As we make our way through the house, you can see that there's a lot of damage from the previous renters who were stripping this house. I don't know if they were trying to get back some of their money or what the story is, but they ripped a lot of the baseboards off the walls and pried a lot of the doors off of their hinges. You can also see that a lot of the walls are starting to... Obviously, this house was built on a hill, and it doesn't have a basement. So I'm sure that a lot of the foundation is starting to shift, and that's causing a lot of the walls to bump. Now, as far as the people who are living in the walls, I haven't seen any signs of them yet. But as we go upstairs, maybe we'll get lucky. Up here on the second floor, it's about what you would expect. Everything's covered in dust, and there's a lot of trash lying around. I poked my head into a couple of the closets and didn't see anything, so I went ahead and moved into the next room. In this room, there was a hole in the wall that was probably made by one of the renters who was trying to run electrical out here to power some lights or something. And while I was taking pictures of that, I heard a small noise. I'm not entirely sure where it came from. It might have come from outside the house. But as I continued to walk through the house, I continued to hear small scratching noises like something was moving around in the walls. At first, I thought that it might have just been squirrels. I mean, the droppings that we saw downstairs could have been from squirrels. But I've investigated a lot of abandoned homes, and I've only ever found squirrels in one other place. So I wasn't entirely convinced. And as I continued to walk through the house, I continued to hear these sounds. As I rounded the corner into the next room, I noticed that the drywall was starting to bulge out. And that's when I knew for sure that there was something in the walls. I poked at the drywall to try and get a better idea of what was going on behind there, and that's when I felt it. Something hard, like a solid object behind the drywall. I continued to poke at it, and I could feel that there was something big behind there. Whatever it was definitely bigger than a squirrel. I don't know if it was a person or an animal, but whatever it was hiding in the walls, and it was a lot. The hole that I found is directly behind this bookshelf. It goes all the way from this room into the room that we were just in. I'm not sure how big it is, but I'm guessing that it's big enough for a person to crawl through. We need to find a way to get into the attic to see what we can find up there. So I went back downstairs and checked around the house to see if I could find any access to the attic. Finally, I found a hatch in this one room. I couldn't find a way to open it, so I just kicked at it and it popped open. Here we are in the attic. There's a lot of stuff up here, but it's all pretty old. From what I can tell, there's insulation stacked up against the bulkhead here. That's probably keeping whatever's in the walls nice and warm. I stuck my head through the insulation to try and see what was going on, but it was too thick to be able to see through. I grabbed my trusty FLIR camera to see if I could see anything. Thermal images don't always turn out great in situations like these, but this one actually turned out pretty well. You can see that there's a definite warm spot here where someone is hiding. I have no doubt in my mind that there's a person up here. Now, I don't know how long they've been up here or why they're hiding in the walls. But either way, I think I've proven that there is at least one person living in the walls of this abandoned house. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to check out our website for more information. Thanks for watching.